Good afternoon, friends. It's time to wrap up July the 21st, 2014. We had another great day of trading. Don't think we missed by much on anything. The euro, of course, played dead again today. So, start out with the E-mini. We have ourselves an inside day. That usually means a trading range without news. And we got CPI. Existing home sales, and that's it. Excuse me, we have a FHFA price index. So CPI, the folks at Zero Hedge, or the guy that wrote the article, thought that it would get extra scrutiny today because PPI has been coming in much higher than forecast. If it gets to CPI, then the Fed might raise interest rates sooner than they do now. Housing price index, the Fed would like to see that increasing, but it usually has no impact. Existing home sales, they've got at 5.0. When times are good, that's usually the default, is 5.0. So this one could come in less. CPI could come in more. And my guess is because the FHFA is a part of the government that it'll come in at or higher than forecast. But none of this is market moving news. And then EU, Russia. And I don't think the sanctions will be materially strengthened. Again, when you look at what went on in Russia, the Occam's razor, the easiest explanation is probably the most likely, and that would be a Russian surrogate. The rebels in the eastern part fired the missile for whatever the reasons. Now, these things run the gamut. Paul Craig, or whatever his name is, Jeff put up there. Paul Craig Roberts suggests that the Ukrainians were shooting down supposedly going to shoot down a jet that had Putin on it. I can understand why the Ukrainians would want to do that. Who knows? There's a story out there that and there's with a video that it was shot down by a Ukrainian fighter jet with a heat-seeking missile. That engine was hit. The airplane was hit in an engine on the right wing. There's plausibility enough plausibility in all these to make sense, but again, Occam's razor would say that it was a Russian-backed operation that went bad, and I have no idea which one it's going to be, but I would tend to go with the simplest explanation, especially given the Facebook, the stuff that was taken down where the guy in charge of the revolt was quoted as saying, we got another one that'll teach them to fly in Ukrainian airspace. But I don't know what the answer is, and I'm sure we'll get closer to the truth over time. So trading range is what this has on it, and we'll stick with that. It's going to take a piece of news, I think, to break us out of this current trading range. Certainly well supported. Longer term, this market is pointed higher. It's just pretty hard not to come to that conclusion. Okay, looking at the F2 screen. We're dealing with a P now, with perhaps a new move out of the 63 area. So we didn't really test support. Maybe we test resistance. Go a little bit higher in the overnight. So right now we're at 70. That's where we wanted to sell this morning. So we're going to sell failure to take out 70 to 73. I think that is the easiest trade to see. And then our sell to is going to be 76, 78. It's pretty tight. I think we got a trading range overnight. I think we can go a little higher as we'll go for maybe some stops up in here. But I don't think we can break the market out. On the buy side, we're back to where we were this morning. So this 63, 65, buy one. That's probably the trade I like the least because you're kind of in no man's land there. And then back to our 60 plus or minus for buy two. Okay, looking at the note, this morning we wanted to sell 11s to 15s like the trade against 16. We thought we could retest resistance pretty handily. Have an inside day there too. We had hoped to buy 1s to 5s, so I'm thinking maybe we get a shot at buying our 1s to 5s because of the weak close that we had in today's and the dynamics of the primary dealers setting up next week's auction. So we have an inside day, and that usually yields trading range a little higher, a little lower. And a lot of it will be dependent upon the E-mini. If the E-mini is higher, we're probably a little lower. If the E-mini is selling, we're probably a little higher. So inside day, trading range. And in the context of the news, I don't think we have enough news to break us out up or down tomorrow. Okay, today, like I said, we hit this market pretty well. We caught the edges, got ours set up. We had a beautiful retest failure at 16.5. Had everything that you needed for a trade. Very, very slow to develop, but it is summer. And so we have a new move out of 13. We got this L period high at 10.5. So selling failure to take out 11. Oh, to maybe as high as 14. I think that's the trade. On the buy side, we're going to make it 1 to 5. And then 29 to 25. I don't see any way we can get down there overnight, but stranger things have happened, if you know what I mean. Now, if we can't crack the 6 to 7 area, the market is stronger than I think it is. And my idea that we're going to get some selling into the next week's auction probably is not valid. The knob spread widened today, so no matter what the news tells us or the rest of it, the long-term interest rate player is there. Still on the buy side, and they're adding to their positions. And if you're buying the long end and selling the short end as a spreader, you're thinking in terms of economic softness, weakness, lack of economic growth, or you see the conditions are right for maybe an explosive move to the upside because of what's going on in the world. Okay, last rotate stopped at 15. Then we have an I period high at 20, so we're going to make selling failure to take out 16 to 20. Our trade. 23 to 27 will be S2. On the buy side, we broke out from 07. We're at 13, so we'll make 5 to 9, buy 1. And then 29 to 01 for buy 2. And that would pick up this volume right here. That leaning against 138 evens, probably about as safe a trade as you could get in this market environment. Okay, gold. I don't think a lot has changed in gold, but again, it's going to probably be pretty hard for gold to sell with the EU announcement coming tomorrow. Big time. So I think we'll find buyers as the market weakens. We're looking at a B, so that says we might be able to buy it a little cheaper. So we'll move our buy zone down a little bit. We came in wanting to buy 10s to 13s today. The low was just below 11 or at 11. And we wanted to sell the 20 area plus or minus. So we'll make 18 to 20, sell 1. 23, 25, sell 2. We'll make 10 plus or minus, buy 1. May have to pay up. And then 5 to 7, buy 2. Looking at crude oil, had a pretty nice rally this afternoon, so I'm going to separate out K. Had a D, and I got pretty close to Jim's move out of the middle. But when crude or gold take out support or resistance late in the session, you usually get a one-way market. And that's probably going to carry into the overnight market as other people are forced to cover their shorts. So we got a low volume number at 103. We'll make 3, 3 1/4. Sell 1. Then 50 to 75, sell 2. On the buy side, the breakout came from 47, so we'll make 25 to 50, buy 1. And then 101.75, 102 for buy 2. And what are we going to do with the euro? That's going to be probably avoid it. Pretty tough to trade when you don't have enough volatility to create trading opportunities. And what that does is that it really turns the market over to the large trader. And if they get bored and have to cover their overhead, they can come in and whack the market from either side. And if they can get anybody to go with them, they can get a nice market move. If they can't, they created some excitement, got some trades off, and start the game all over again. So we're really dealing with very, very little activity. They had all day to break it. They couldn't. We've got this buying down here below 05, so we're going to make 35 even, plus or minus 5 for buy 1. Then our 75 to 85 for buy 2. And on the sell side, I'm going to open it up a little bit because the day was so dead. We have the London high here. So we'll make it 35.45 for sell 1. And then 2 will make 60 to 70. But it's pretty hard to to trade this market given the lack of activity and volatility, etc. It's just